The Anaheim Ducks finished the 24-25 season with 80 points, missing the playoffs for the 7th consecutive year, their third longest active drought in the NHL. They placed 25th in the standings, securing the 8th best odds in the draft lottery, which gave them a 6% chance to land the first overall pick for the first time in team history. Of course, even in a weaker draft class, that didn't happen. In fact, like clockwork, the Ducks dropped to the lowest possible spot, number 10, which had a 3.2% chance of happening, so it was extremely unlikely, but somehow it happened. That means they've fallen in the lottery 5 of the last 7 possible years.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
This will be just the 3rd time in franchise history the Ducks have selected 10th overall. The last 2 were Pavel Michukov in 2022 and Nick Ritchie in 2014. That's a pretty big difference in talent there. Still, the Ducks hold the 10th overall pick, marking the 17th time in team history that they've picked inside the top 10. Wow, way more than I would have guessed. But here's the good news. This year's draft is that if you're not going to pick the top 2, the rest of the field is pretty even, especially between picks 8 and 10. So while the drop sucks, it's not the end of the world. Unlike most years, the 2025 draft doesn't have a true consensus top prospect. As of right now, most rankings list either defenseman Matthew Schaefer or forward Michael Misa as the likely top pick, with forwards James Haggins and Porter Martone not far behind. But let's be real, those top 4 names will likely be off the board by the time the Ducks pick number 10. So who are some other options for the Ducks? Like I said, this is a pretty wide open draft. Realistically, there are probably 10 to 15 players who could go in that range. So here's who I've got my eye on right now, based on a couple hours of research. Number 1 on my list, if he's available at 10, and based on most rankings he would be, is right-handed center Roger McQueen. Ka-chow! I could get used to saying that. He's 18 years old and already 6'5" and 192 pounds. He'd be tied for the tallest player on the Ducks. You know Verbeek loves his big boys. Despite his size, McQueen is shockingly smooth with the puck. He weaves through traffic with control and keeps the puck tight to his body, something you don't often see from bigger players. He thrives in tight spaces and does some of his best work under pressure. And when he's parked in front of the net, he's a nightmare for goalies.
All alone, Roger McQueen, between the legs, he scores! He goes roof over the glove of Kelton Pine. That's one that we will see for a long time. Roger McQueen.
He's got a great net front presence, screens well, and has a knack for cleaning up rebounds and deflections. And boy, do we need that. His draft comparables are Tage Thompson and Quinton Byfield. Now, the big question mark. He suffered a spinal fracture just 8 games into the season. And if you remember, just last year, 6'4" Caden Lindstrom went 4th overall despite back injury. That's kept him off the ice ever since. The good news is, McQueen has returned, and after a ramp-up period, he looked sharp and still had his bite. But will this injury have long-term effects? That remains to be seen. Still, this quote from Stephen Ellis makes me want to take a shot, and his last sentence couldn't be truer for the Ducks. A team with some high-end prospects could look past McQueen's injury issues and bet high on one of the most unique players in this draft class. The Ducks have one of the deepest and highest-ceiling prospect pools in the NHL. Many of their top prospects have already made the jump and are making an impact at the NHL level. So why not swing on a unique talent like McQueen? If he pans out, he could be a 1-2 punch with Carlson down the middle. If not, McTavish would stay center, but I still like him better on the wing. There are obviously so many more players, but that's what I'm thinking right now. I'll probably have a video with some more players later on. Now, what about trading the pick? Just skimming through the past 10th overall picks, there are some big names, but also a lot I didn't recognize. I wouldn't be against trading the pick if it meant bringing in a true impact player who could help us get to the playoffs next year. That's Verbeek's goal after all. In fact, I'm more in favor of trading the pick instead of drafting. But if we keep the pick, I'm hoping this is the last time we're drafting top 10 for a long time. Not because we dropped again, which, probably will happen, but because we're finally back in the playoffs where we belong. And of course, be ready for a surprise, just like the last 2 drafts when Verbeek picked Leo and Bucket. I can't quite remember, was Minty a shock too? I think most fans were just happy he was still available, but yeah, I guess it was kind of unexpected that the Ducks took a Russian. Either way, I think it's safe to say Verbeek isn't following the majority. Also, keep an eye on Grant McCaig from the Sick Podcast. He correctly predicted the Ducks' last 2 first-round picks, both of which were shockers at the time. So if you're trying to read Verbeek's mind, McCaig might be the guy to watch again this year. The 2025 NHL Draft will be the first non-COVID decentralized draft. Teams will be making their picks from their own war rooms, but the event will still be televised as usual on June 27th and 28th in LA. Invited players will still get the full experience of walking across the stage and putting on their new team's jersey. So what do you think the Ducks should do with the pick? Trade it or keep it? And if they keep it, who should they take at number 10? Also, shout out to NHL. This was a much improved format with the draft lottery this year. It was a lot quicker too, which was nice. Thank you to everyone who turned into the chaotic live stream reaction. I think I want to start doing those more again. It was a lot of fun just to hang out. Thank you to our members. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and go Ducks. On over 10? What the hell?